Howdy. It's 4:20. Let's get high. All right. So I've been reading through my book, my new book that hasn't come out yet. You can check out a little bit on my website, davidhouse.com. And the central part of the book is translating the first 13 paragraphs of the Zohar, which really set off from the rest of the Zohar and really gives a complete explanation as to how life evolved on planet Earth, or at least everything that preceded that. And we're on chapter 4. Okay. So first, let's read the paragraph, and then we'll break it down into pieces and explain it. Zohar, Zera de Yikra, Kahai Zera Damasi La Argavon Tov, Lizha Chafi Lagoy, Vave Le Hekla de Ihu Tishba Hota Delay, Vitalta de Kula, Ubahai, Bahai Reshit, Boro hu stima de lo is yada de hekel da ikre Elohim. So in the first sentence, Zera Zohar Zera Zera Liyikra Kahai Zera Mashi Dargavan Tov Liit Chafe Lagoy, illuminating the seed of heaviness, like Persian silk tree with abundant color covering essence. Swirling light within the Nakuda dot forms a seed of heaviness, like the seed from the silk plant, which is extremely red. The Persian silk tree is known for silky pink shoots. The unified light harboring within the Nakuda dot was stretched out into one long light wave, measuring the expanse of space. Red is the sign of the first and longest light waves, contracted down to the speed of light. From the entanglement of tendrils was created chambers within the empty space of creation. Scientists are able to determine the universe is speeding up because of the increase in red-shifted light from the distant galaxies. The longer the wave, the speedier the object. Time spirals. Therefore, the beginning is red, drawing through green, and ending in blue. The sine wave does not infer conclusion, just attenuation down to nothing, since time is plotted as a line instead of a circle. This skewing of truth has endless ramifications, since motion measured by time is fundamental to existence. However, from inside of the Nukuda, The slowing of light causes a blue shift. The Eitz Chaim, tree of life, is set upon three pillars: right, left, and center. Blue is right, red is left, and center is green. The light of creation is said to be green, meaning light slowed down enough to allow creation to happen. Though the speed of light seems fantastically fast from our perspective, but to Boré, light is comparable to water, slowly meandering through creation. Scientists are only able to see 4% of creation by their own admission. Where there is a tree, first a seed needs to be. What happens within the black hole is how this most ephemeral form of a seed was produced, then planted into the Mokampane, the empty space, sprouting the Eitz Chaim rooted in Shemayim with branches spreading throughout the universe. Animals are considered temporal like the plants, but the human being is compared to a tree, deeply rooted in the ground. Animals go on all four, constantly staring at the dirt, while human beings, a combination of human soul and animal body, go erect with our heads elevated into the heavens. Making her chamber praise while elevating everything. The difficulty in creation is restraining the infinite abilities of Boré down to 10 components. Of the Eitz Chaim, tree of life, engraved into the Or Ein Sof, light without end, creating a perturbation, forming a seed within a miraculous chamber, composing everything needed for creation to be replicated endlessly, culminating by feeding life into our planet Tevel for human consumption. This supernal chamber is far beyond physical or spiritual. This chamber is the first appearance of form. Coming from one seed ensures uniformity throughout creation. All of creation can trace back to the original Nikudah, dot, where Boré desires a dwelling place in Lo. From this point came many points until the universe was shaken by black holes spewing out mammoth galaxies, each galaxy a unique structure like none else, each a snowflake in the eyes of Boré. A recognition of structure facilitates the notion that the creator Boré created creation. The universe and all the life within the universe did not just happen, but was planned from the very beginning, even before time and space emerged. The seed to creation was already being formed within the initial black hole. The universe is completely unified, having sprouted from the same seed. Whatever there is in creation belongs there, some for positive and some for negative. The job of each human being here on the lowest place in creation, with our head in the heavens and our feet upon the ground, is to continually choose good over bad. We are not here just to satisfy our urges. There is a greater reason to life than our animal instincts. By seeding the heavens filled with hints, illuminated by the great logic of creation only Boré could have created, The human being is faced with an existential decision to know God. The recognition between creator Boré and creation Borah exemplifies God being known by each person. Bahai Rashis Bara Hohustima Delos Yada Dehekala Dehekla De Ikre Elohim. This beginning, creating the hidden, unknowable to this chamber is called Elohim. The Nikudah, dot of the black hole, is counted as the beginning of creation when the red light from the inner blue seed spreads throughout space, awakening the universe to the creator Boré. We cannot know beyond the black hole because that is the fifth dimension of creation compared to the soul of the body. Just as the human being can only sense the soul, so too the entire universe can only sense what is beyond the black hole. Zohar comes to teach about the light from the far side of the black hole, where God's desire whirls and spins into a fecund gush of creation. The black hole begins time and space, governed by the name Elohim, which has a gematria of 86, the same gematria as Hateva, nature, plus the 5 elements, earth, water, air, fire, and soul, portrayed within the 5 letters Elohim. The feminine attribution within creation is expressed through the name Elohim, which is the combination of a few words and concepts. El, kindness, is a name indicating giving. By adding the Hey, 5, which corresponds to the mouth, breaking up the singularity of one breath into the multiplicity of speech through the 5 attributes of throat, palate, tongue, teeth, and lips, and is depicted in our solar system's most outer planet, Pluto, with her 5 moons. The word Eloha translates as God, and the final 2 letters, Yam, as plurality, and renders the word Yam, sea, giving the final component of the name Elohim, the name governing multiplicity of creation. The Torah begins, Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, Elohim created, as if she is the birth mother to creation. Later, the name Yud He Vav He, with a masculine effluence, becomes father to creation. Because Boré, creator, is nothing of creation, Boré requires masculine and feminine names, enabling compassion for creation. Through the names, Boré can be affected, feeling what creation feels. Boré wants to know in low, and therefore, Boré wants to be known in low, and therefore, though Boré is everywhere all the time to everyone, nonetheless, God wants to participate in creation. So Boré needs to adopt the restraints implicit into creation. Boré, who is above time, needs to have patience. Boré, who loves justice, needs to understand redemption. Boré, who loves all of creation, needs to be a good parent through the names Yud He Vav He and Elohim. Though these names come about at the brink of creation, the name is not God. The name is close to Boré, but the name is not Boré. We pray to Boré, not to the name of God. Chapter 5. Paragraph 5. Just having a little hit here, you know. Paragraph 5. Razadeh, Bereshis Bora Elohim, Zohar, Dimene Kulhu Ma'amrot of Re'ov, Barazatis Pashtuta, Nakuda de Zohar Stamim Da, E Bahai Kativ, Bora Leis Tova de Kasiv, Vayavar Elohim et Adam Ba'atzmo. Razadab Bereshis Bara Elohim, in the hint, in the beginning Elohim created. The written Torah begins with a description of the 6 days of creation, beginning the 6,000-year calendar embedded within the 266,450,000 years, connecting the red light coming from the black hole, where within Zohar is wrapped in blue filaments. A seed ready to be exploded out, having been engraved into the Or Ein Sof, light without end, by the twisting desire of Borei, creator, to be known in lo. The word Bereshit can be rearranged to spell Ba'alef Tishrei, on the first day on the first day of Tishrei. The new moon in the month called Tishrei is the 6th day of creation, when the human being was formed. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year, begins a new cycle in the 6,000-year calendar, leading to the 1,000 years of woman and peace in 220 years. The first 3 words, Bereshis Bara Elohim, in the beginning God created, hints to Zohar, the inner illumination of the primordial black hole creating the beginning of time. Embedded embedded in time are the 6,000 years of creation here on planet Tevel, happening after God 26 and human being 45, connected through the 6 days of creation after 266,450,000 years. Each of the 6 days of creation is a prototype to a subsequent 1,000 years of history, leading to the final 1,000 years of woman and peace. Presently, we are in the last quarter of the 6th day of creation, when the human being is created to stand erect with head in Shemayim and feet upon Tevel, harboring the freedom to choose a path through life, coming towards culmination. From Zohar, there everything spoken by Creator hinted the outflowing dot of the Zohar hidden. Out of Zohar hidden within the black hole, the 10 utterances or waves of differentiation, ordering the universe, hinted in the form from Eitz Chaim tree of life, comprised of roots, trunk, branches, and fruit growing down into creation. The Eitz Chaim, rooted in the heart of creation, is expressed in the oneness of the trunk, branching out, creating time and space, where flowers come to fruition and sweetness grows on our corporeal earth. Zohar is just a reflection of a refraction percolating up from the essence, endlessly attenuated down to the ground. The first sound of creation is taught in Sefer Yetzirah, book of form, written by Abraham 4,000 years ago, teaches Emish, a combination of three letters, Aleph, Mem, Shin, corresponding to uh, uh, to to air, water, and fire. The elements composing Shemayim, heaven. The element of Avuk is missing. The spiritual worlds void of corporeality are scattered throughout creation, clumps forming chambers in what the scientists describe as dark matter, unable to be breached by measurement. Scientists and philosophers lift their heads to the heavens, wondering if there is life beyond earth, while the entire universe of souls, angels, entities, and other celestial vibrations laugh back at us. Each person is etched from the planet Table, a little pile of walking dirt. But Borei sees things differently. Borei sees the hole left in the ground, sees the person as a walking hole which needs to be filled with the water of wisdom, lest noxious animals arise. Through our meandering upon the planet Table, through good deeds we do, filling our little walking hole with water to be an overflowing spring to our brethren. The moisture of life begins to dry as we age. Some evaporate into stupidity. Some pay the price of pleasure. But the good we do replenishes the good earth like rain from the heavens. Zohar is etched from the inside of the black hole, womb to existence, into our universe made of galaxies, revealed at this time, Sof Yamim, to end of days, to help humanity out from the empty pit of darkness and the superficiality of modern day technology, fitting reality into a narrow screen for optimal consumption. We are the mirror of creation, and what we do and what we express while on this planet reflects back even further than the place of emanation. Zohar could only be revealed at this time when telescopes can corroborate the existence of black holes where within Zohar dwells. Ibahai kasi bara leis tivha tikatziv baboralihim et adam b'tzalmo. With this written, Bora created, no wonderment is written. God Borei created Adam in God's image. Borei, who is neither physical nor spiritual, certainly has no form. Borei experiences creation through the names and structures based in the 10 components to the tree of life. Only by seeing this structure implicit in the very first nascent beginnings to creation can the human design and structure of creation be fully appreciated beyond art and science. Instead of staring out into the emptiness of man's ego and authority, Zohar illuminates the Eitz Chaim, grown into our galaxy, then reflected in our solar system as the sun and 9 planets mirrored on the earth, as 3 oceans and 7 continents, also depicted in the human configuration composed of 10 components, portrayed in three triangles plus speech. Seeing the thread of form drawn throughout dimensions, expressing the essence of 10 in various ways at different times, conducted by the 7 outer planets of our solar system and the myriad of stars beyond, is miraculous. Both the body and the soul have form. The soul is carved from a star, tethered to the human body through a tiny beam of light, entering into the right side of the brain, initiating thinking, filling the body with endless abilities etched into the mind, the heart, and the limbs, bringing about thoughts, emotions, and expression. If written vertically, the name Yud-He-Vav-He appears to be a stick figure of a human being. Each human being is born into the form of the Yud-He-Vav-He. Each human being is tied to the illuminations of the soul. Each person is a mirror reflecting back. The first Adam was formed androgynous, connected male and female back to back, made from the dust of the earth, but the man was unable to see the woman. So Boré split the Adam, one blood, into 2 genders, able to explore each other's uniqueness. 2 Boré, all of creation, physical and spiritual, is like one woman, and Boré is her man. Boré is forever giving love into the relationship between creator and creation. Boré adopts an endemic sexual language of nature to interact with creation. How else can Boré be known in low? Whatever the human being can imagine, Boré wants to be there, experiencing life through each person all the time, always. All right. Good, that was good. That is the end of paragraph 5. So next week we can do paragraph 6. I hope, I hope you're enjoying this. I want to announce that someone actually bought a book from me. So I am going to be changing formats of my books. I've been publishing them through Amazon. And in the future, I'm going to be using a Sparks, can't remember it. But anyways, this is a more book kind of publisher, and they work with bookstores and libraries so I can get my books really out into the world. So I'm very happy with like how everything is going forward. And this book, Zohar Beyond the Black Hole, will be available August 17th. So, and in the meantime, like I'm doing all sorts of things to try to, make it a successful launch. I've never really done this before, but I have some help and things are really going well. And thank you for your interest in my work. And I have a great Shabbat. And, see you on the other side. I know so many people in the world are suffering now, from the heat, from the storms, from things crashing down, and all sorts of political bullshit going on in the world. And I want to say this last thing, instead of sending, diplomats to countries, I think we should be exchanging therapists. I think we need a good therapist to go to these leaders and ask them, what do they really want? And I'd ask our leader the same thing. All right. Bye.